Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an M40 M43 Tier 8 American SPG. It's located on the south spawn of mines and it's under the command of WeeeWhat. And this is the first of a pair of replays featuring the M40 M43. Okay, game started. Well, that's got the 8-inch howitzer there because if it had the 155mm gun, the M1 gun, that would extend over the front of the vehicle. Now the M40 M43 was designed because they were running out of M1918 guns for the M12s. Yep, they had a shortage, so they decided we'll use the Sherman hull and that way we can carry the 155mm M1 gun as well as the 203mm 8-inch howitzer as well. Now he's just waiting for the reload. There we go. Fires it in. Only gets 189 hit points a splash, but he does the right thing straight away. He pulls forward to avoid counter battery because mines, well, there's only a limited area where you can be to get accurate shots on the enemy. And woo, look at this. The enemy Arty's been spotted straight away and he's straight in there because he wants that kill. Because once that guy's out of the way, he doesn't have to move the counter battery at all. He can just stay where he is and blast away. So, and there goes the kill. So, he's out. There's no more counter battery. He can stay where he is with impunity. Just take out every target he can see. He just doesn't even have to move during shots. He is loaded, ready to go. CS59 or a Lorraine 40 ton. I go for the 59 because he is out in the open. Rounds out, lands just behind him for 29. It fell short actually, so he only got a bit of splash. Not sure why he's moving there. I suppose it's just habit at the moment that he's actually relocating to avoid counter battery because there is no more enemy Arty. Okay, that Scorpion G is behind cover. He's not going to be able to get a shot on that guy. There's an M103 over on the island. It's a tier 9 game with tier 8 tanks in it, tier 7 tanks in it as well. So he's middle tier in this game. He might be able to get a shot on that guy, but I wouldn't risk it because there's better targets elsewhere like that Challenger. That's a very lightly armoured tank destroyer. And it looks like he's almost been alerted that he may be in a dangerous position because he's just suddenly moved behind cover, but then he pulls back out again. Direct hit wipes him out. Oh, now that's why he moved, because the Lorraine 40 ton saw him when he fired, so he had to get into cover as quickly as possible to avoid any shells coming in his direction from the tanks, not from the artillery, because there's no artillery left. So he was more worried about a tank firing at him. There's that CS59 again. If he puts the cursor just at the bottom of the tank like that, he should be able to get a shot right up his jacksie. Loaded. Rounds out. Oh, it went to the left. That's painful when that happens. You've waited for 39 seconds. That's what his reload is. And then all of a sudden the shell doesn't hit the target, veers to the left. So you have to wait another 39 seconds. This is the thing that tank drivers do not appreciate about Arty. You have to have oodles of patience to wait for that long time in between reloads to work out where you're going to put the enemy, where you're going to put the shell rather. But the other thing is, of course, that a lot of tank drivers think that Arty players just eat food or do something else when they're in between shots. No, we don't. We're actually looking at the battlefield, trying to work out which place we should put on the next shell to do the most damage and help our team the most. So we are actively searching for new targets to hit, targets that will make a difference in the game. Well, he's now aiming for a tortoise on the island, and he's out in the open, so he should be able to get a hit directly into the side of the guy, but he's still got another 10 seconds. So, count those seconds down, and he'll let loose at that guy. He's not moving, which is a bad move if you're a tank destroyer. Rounds out, here we go. Direct hit! 376 hit points, which is not bad, but the alpha on this gun is 1050. which means he didn't get a full whack. He didn't pen him on the side. 52 millimeters of penetration and an 11.1 meter burst radius. Well, that's radius, so remember it's 2 times the radius. So if you want to actually see how big the actual bubble is on the impact point, you can press, I think it's B, is it K? No, it's B. If you press B and you're using the Aslains mod, you can see where the shell splash area is. And you can see there, it didn't go to the aim point, but it was within the reticule area. Just press that B again, you can see there. Somebody was asking me about this the other day. I mentioned that, yes, if you press B and you're using Aslains mods, then you can actually see the blast area. It's a kind of hemisphere on the ground from the aim point. Okay, well, taking that off, what's he got at the moment? Well, that Lorraine 40 ton is a one-shot. He only needs to land the shell near the guy, and he's going to be out the game. And he's also fairly close to the cliff edge, but at the moment he's in the cover of that rock, so we're not going to get a shell on him. But if he backs up just a little, he is going to be out the game. So he's just lining the shot up. And this is where I go to overhead mode as well. Sometimes you go to overhead mode, it becomes much easier to see where the actual impact point is on the ground in relation to the target. He's marking the ground, saying that's where I want to hit. Just waiting for that Lorraine to back up a little. But in the meantime, he's actually going to go after this 7032, who pulls back, but he is going to pull forward. That guy's got a full load of hit points, but I'd say the Lorraine is a more important target right now. Well, it did land near the 7032, but that Lorraine 40 ton is still there, and that's the guy who was spotting him whilst he was in this corner. Oh, that IS-2 just took a hit, but he's coming our way. Unfortunately, because the building's in between us, we can't get a shot on that IS-2. But we don't need to worry because our platoon mate took him out. He's got 2 platoons in the mates in this game. You can see the 7032 BW Hudson is one of them. The CS52 is the other one. That's Zephead 199, and he's up the other end of the battlefield. In fact, Zephead is in the same clan as WeeeWhat. Okay, can he get a shot on this Lorraine? Ready, 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 ready. Rounds out. Yes! That was actually right up his rear, so yes, he felt that one. He's probably cursing WeeeWhat right now, saying, ouch. No, you more than likely he would be cursing, or he would be saying, yeah, okay, I was out in the open, I was spotted. You see, tank drivers, they really don't appreciate Arty players enough, but you really do have to think like an Arty player if you're driving a tank, to think, where am I safe, where am I not safe, and to avoid being spotted and being hit. If you move into the open, you can expect to get hit, and that's why as an Arty player, if I'm in a tank, I don't curse the Arty. I think, well, fair dues to you. If you manage to get a hit onto me, well done. But if I don't curse them at all, because they're only doing what they're supposed to do. And I wish tank drivers would appreciate that a little bit more. Okay, now he's aiming up on the hill because the Scorpion G was behind that rock. There's an AMX CDA 105 up there as well. And I guess he's thinking or hoping that maybe one of them will be behind the rock. Going back to that 7032. We did lose one of our platoon mates. BW Hudson got taken out, I'm afraid. The TS5 on the right side of the hill has been spotted by the enemy, so I suspect they are still up on that plateau above the enemy cap. CS44's found the 7032. He's dialed in. Beautiful direct hit. 405 hit points. Five rounds left. Only 5 rounds left. You don't get a huge amount of ammo with the M40, M43, but because it takes so long to load, well, yes, you are careful to place your shots, and you probably do have enough to last the battle, as long as you don't just blast away. Okay, he's very close to that rock. If he fires, I suspect that the shell might hit the rock instead of the 7032. He'd be very lucky if he gets a direct hit. Oh, now this is interesting. The Scorpions come up, and it's the American Scorpion, which has got virtually no armor, and he blows him up with one shot. That was a good one. That's made a difference to the team, because now it's 5 versus 4, but we're less than 5 minutes now. One of the enemy tanks, the Scorpion G, has made it onto the South Island. There's nobody to stop him coming towards the cap area. Only 4 shells left now. Platoon mate has come back. That's Zepphead 199. And he needs to come back, because if that Scorpion G... Oh, now that's annoying. We just lost the T-30 to that Scorpion G. He was in a rather exposed position halfway up the south approach to the hill. And the enemy is now taking advantage of this to move into the hill area and to the south. The Scorpion G will be spotting from one side. There they are. TS5 spotted them. I think the TS5, yep, got the kill. So he needs to turn around now and defend against the Tortoise. Tortoise has decided to pull back in behind all those wrecks. Now we've got no shot because that rock face is in the way. Ah, the 7032's decided to come into the hill, which is probably not a smart move, because rounds out, direct hit, 357. He's now a one shot for anyone or a splash kill. The Tortoise is still at the entrance, so it's 3 versus 3 now. We're getting dangerously short on time though. That's the 3-minute mark. I suspect the 7032 will go up against the cliff edge. The Fox, our platoon mates, moved to the south end of the hill. He really needs to proxy spot that that enemy, the 7032. If he actually goes to the cliff edge, he might get spotted, and WeeeWhat might be able to take him out. 3 rounds left. The TS5 is doing that instead, actually. And he's found the Tortoise, and you can shoot the Tortoise here. He's lining it up. Rounds out. Direct hit. 350 hit points. Oh, Zepphead's thinking about going into the hill. I'd be worried about doing that. If the 7032's in there, he might ambush you with 2 shells instead of 1. And he might be out of the game just like that. But we're about to get the 2-minute warning. This is really going down to the wire. There's the 703. And yes, he is trying to ambush anyone who comes in to the hill. So Zepphead needs to pull back. Tempt the Tortoise to come out from the hill so we can hit him outside the hill. That's it, that's it. Pull back, pull back. Let him come on and then blast him. WeeeWhat lines up a shot. Rounds out. Direct hit. 336. It's getting so close now. Still 3 enemies out there. We can only see 2 of them. The AMX CDA 105 really hasn't taken part in this battle. And despite the fact that rounds are going into the Tortoise, they're not hitting the weak spot. They're actually hitting, or he's trying to get the shots into the lower plate. And he's not succeeding. WeeeWhat's almost about to shoot. He might be able to kill him with 1 round. It is a premium round. It is his last round. Here we go. Rounds out. Direct hit. But that's now the last minute hooter, and he's run out of ammo. So if he presses the reload button now, it will say out of ammo. Nothing left. He's done all he can in this game, which goes to show how short of ammo you can be in the M40, M43. WeeeWhat can only cap now to help his team, or spot, but I wouldn't want to spot with a 7032 potentially out there to wipe you out with 1 shot. We know where he is, but we just can't do anything about him. And we've only got 20 seconds left, so it's looking like it's going to be a draw. I can't see any last minute changes. The TS5 was taken out, so he's out the game. So it's now just Zepphead and WeeeWhat. And Zepphead's the only one with shells. 3, 2, 1. And it's a draw. So that's the end of the battle. And WeeeWhat runs out of ammo. So let's have a look at the second replay and see how that one gets on. And the second replay is on Muravanka, and the M40 M43 is being commanded by Biggest Stickers of REBRN. Yes, that's me. That's my NA account, and this is an NA game. Okay, game started, and the first thing I'm going to do is knock down the camp so it doesn't provide cover for anyone, and off I go. They've neglected... Oh, they did destroy the building. Somebody did, at least. And I'm carrying wood. Always nice to have wood. Yep. Anyway, joke's over. I'm going to go over to this corner, try and protect myself. We've got some guys going over to the Magic Forest. And there's a whole batch going up to the west side. So, who am I going to support first? Well, this looks like a good position. It's always a good position here, actually, because those raised ground there actually does conceal you. Okay, aiming towards the Magic Forest, and the first target I see is Object 274A. Now, that's from the Polar Challenge, and a lot of people have been getting them. Oh my god! He's not going to be happy, that one. That's a penetrating shot for 1,135 hit points. He's lost all his health in one fell swoop. And that just goes to show how thin those things are. And that's why I didn't buy one. Yes, I was going to buy something which I knew you could easily take out. And yeah, they are fairly weak, those things. 1050 alpha is the normal alpha damage for this 8-inch howitzer. 52mm of armor it went through. And I've just taken out the IS-3 too. So, starting off to a good game, I'm up to 1.3k of damage already, 1 kill under my belt. There's the IS-22. You can see that 274A has only got 65 hit points left. I might as well put him out of his misery. So I'm following him. It's about a 35-second reload, if I recall, because I've got premium consumables. I can't see the 274, but I can see the Pershing and the IS-22. He's a much more better target. Plus there's two tanks there together. And I splashed the IS-22. He's taking damage, so I'm getting stun assist as well. There's that 274 again. So the guys are doing well in the Magic Forest at the moment. So long as I can keep up the pressure on these guys. The behaviour of some of the tanks in the Magic Forest can be fairly predictable. They tend to go to these dips here along the way, trying to shoot and popping up over the ridgeline, or go to the very edge. So I'm lining up a shot for that Leopard prototype. Fire at the Pershing, because he looked like he was going to go near him. The Pershing takes the brunt of that one for 266. Only a bit of a splash though. Following the Leopard prototype all the way as much as I can. I can probably pen that guy. Ouch! He just took out our 274A, and I'm not fully loaded yet. Leopard prototype's moving forward. I have the feeling I'm going to lose sight of him very shortly. The Pattern's the only one spotting him. Line up a shot. Work out where he's going. Rounds out now. Stay where you are. That's better. 428 hit points from that one. Okay, looks like I've lost all my teammates in the Magic Forest, and I'm going to have to move. The only thing I can do at this stage is try and move over to the west side of the map, stay out of the way of the enemy, or stay out of sight of them. I've moved over right almost to the corner, you might say. But it's still not safe here if the enemy's coming along the K-row. I can't see any of the guys in front of me. I did knock the tree down. Not a good idea. But I felt that I needed extra cover. Okay, we're going to see if I can land shells on that Conqueror. Okay, I can see that Conqueror wreck is moving. And Conqueror wrecks don't move of their own accord, so it must mean that somebody's behind him. And I just landed a shell on the Conqueror directly. So he's now realised pushing a wreck is not exactly a good idea, because it does tell everyone where you are. He's pushing it again. Yep. What a silly bunny. Okay, we're reloading. I'm a bit concerned about the tanks in that force from the Magic Forest that might be coming in this direction, because one of them's a Brask and the other one's a Leopard prototype, and yeah, they kind of are quite fast and quite deadly. Conqueror's come around this side, rounds out, lands behind him, 530. No, I actually got 219, sorry. The IS-32 got some, but the Conqueror comes in, or actually the 274 comes in and finishes him off. And now we see the Leopard prototype approaching, and I'm not loaded yet. This is looking bad. We're 3 tanks down now on the enemy. It's getting increasingly difficult to try and win this one. I'm tracking that that Leopard prototype rather. Lining him up, getting it ready. Oh, he stops. That's a direct hit. 522, and I get some stun assist, and he's out the game. So at least that one's gone. Now, who's next? A Scorpion was seen somewhere in those bushes up to the north, and oh, there he is now. He's moved a bit further south. He just... Actually, it wasn't him who took out the T-30, it was the M46 Patton. And a Brask is closing in our 274. And there's the Scorpion. Line him up, line him up. We're almost loaded. Rounds out. Direct hit. 550 hit points on that one. 4 critical hits. That's going to ruin his day. He is now basically a one-shot for me. Trouble is he's still there, and there's a Waffenträger with him now. There goes the Scorpion. I got the stun assist off that one as well. Just need that Waffenträger now. We're still 2 tanks down on the enemy now. Okay, M46 Patton just came up onto that rise. I'm firing blind, and I actually do hit him. I had worked out where he was going to be. But there's only 2 of us left now, an IS-3 and myself, and that's it. And we're now facing, well, 6 opponents. This is going to be an ask. I'm doing as much as I can. 3.7k of damage so far. Some pretty big hits in there. The Leopard prototype took a big one. So did the Scorpion. Now I'm lined up on where I think the Brask might be. But here comes the Waffenträger. Still dialing in. Still loading. Here we go. Here we go. Unfortunately, it wasn't good enough. And I just took a big hit from the Brask, and that's it. I'm out the game. So it's now all down to the IS-3, but I don't think he'll live very long. And he's out the game, and that's it. It's all over. So unfortunately, the team crumbled, and it ended up in a defeat. But I got a nice, healthy total. So let's have a look at the end of battle stats for the first battle with WeeeWhat. That was an ace tanker game. Yes, he managed to get an ace tanker. Not the first time he's had one, but he did get a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. In fact, he ended up with 4. A bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 16. A gauze medal for doing more damage than 8 times the hit points of his own vehicle. And he got the high caliber as well for doing the most damage in the game. And his win 8 was 7,933, which is super unicum standard indeed. He ran out of shells, he said, yes. 4,523 hit points, easily the highest in the game. The next high scorer being the Scorpion G on the enemy team with 3,228. That was the guy who went down to the South Island, remember, got killed by the TS5. When it came to kills, he managed to get the highest number of those with 4 kills as well, 3 kills to the Scorpion G. And when it came to base XP, it was a draw, so the 7032 on the enemy team managed to get the highest on this occasion. 718 went to him, 706 went to WeeeWhat, and then 649 went to their Lorraine 40 ton. He fired all 16 rounds, got 8 direct hits, 1 penetration, 17 splash, damage of 4,523 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. He earned 6,107 credits from that one because he did use his premium ammo, and he also took away 1,690 XP because he did get the courageous resistance as well. But yes, sadly it was a draw. But a good game all the same, especially considering you see Ace Tanker, Gauss and High Caliber. So what happened in my game? Well, I also got an Ace Tanker in that one. That was the first Ace Tanker in the M40, M43 on my NA account. I also got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In this one I got 24. Quite a lot. A Gauss medal for doing more damage and exceeding 8 times the hit points of my own vehicle. And yes, I did get the High Caliber in that one as well for doing the most damage. My win rate was slightly lower than WeeeWhat's. I got 5,597. We look at the team score, we can see that I got 4,933 hit points. The next high scorer being the Brask on the enemy team. He got Leverslayer's medal, Patrol GT and Confederate with 3,978 hit points. And the next high score after that was their M46 Patton with 3,599. When it came to kills, it was actually shared between the Object 274A on my team and the M46 Patton on the enemy team. 4 kills apiece, 3 kills for the Brask and 2 kills for the Scorpion Leopard prototype. When it came to base XP, it was the enemy team did the best. 1,390 for the Brask, 1,012 for the M46 Patton, and then 949 for the Scorpion. But I got the next highest XP after that with 823 on the losing team. So if I'd actually been on the winning team, I might have been a bit higher indeed. I fired 11 shots in that game, so I still have 5 left at the end of the game. 7 direct hits, 1 penetration. Of course, that was the 274A who took a whopping great hit right at the start of the game. 10 splash, 4,933 hit points of damage, of which 4,690 were at more than 300 meters. So there was some close-in action there. 2 hits received, both penetrations right at the end of the game. 9 enemy vehicles damaged, 1 killed, and 1,755 hit points of stun assistance. I earned 14,560 credits in that game, a little more than WeeeWhat, but I didn't use as much premium, or didn't use up all my shells rather. And I also picked up 1,920 experience points at the end of the game as well, so not a bad game. But I did as much as I could, but my team, well, they crumbled around me, so there wasn't much more that I could do. I was backed into the corner, I couldn't go much further, but there you go, it sometimes happens that way. So I hope you enjoyed both those replays. If you did, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thanks for watching.